Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the VDC space. Today we're going to be modeling skew bridge girders and also skew bridge decks in Revit. And then I'm going to show you how to place them in relation to each other using Dynamo script. Now, before I get started, I would like to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're already subscribed, hit that notification button because I upload BIM modeling tutorials 3 times every week. I cover different topics, as you can see on my playlist. Now, without further ado, let's start with our project. So the first thing is we're going to generate families for our concrete bridge girders and also our decks, and then we're going to generate a Dynamo script and then so that we can place them in relation to each other. So we're going to start with our bridge girders using metric structural framing, beams and braces. And then I'm just going to remove this extrusion, this reference line, these reference planes, and then I'm going to increase the length and make it 4550. And then I'm just going to extend this reference plane and then lock it again. So I'm going to go to the left elevation. So on my left elevation, I'm going to use this as my insertion point. And then I'm going to go to create and say reference plane. And then I'm going to place a horizontal reference plane like this. So I'm going to offset this one. And I think I'm going to make it 150 millimeters. And then I'm going to copy it down. So I'm going to make it 400. And then copy it further down and make it, let's make it 300. And then copy it further down by 100. And then further down by 80. And then we're going to make it 120. And then our chamfer is going to be 35. So this is what we have. So I'm going to select this and just extend it and then lock it again. So I'm going to go to create and say extrusion and then set my reference to reference plane left. And then I'm going to start from this point and then take it to the right by 300 and then take it down by 150 and then to the right by 200. And then I'm going to take it down by another 200. So, and then I'm going to take it diagonally at 35 degrees and then place it like this. Take it down by 300 and then diagonally at 135 degrees like this. So I'm going to place it like that. And then further diagonally at, let's see what we have. So I'm going to make it at 172 degrees at 574.8 in length. And then further diagonally down by 125 degrees. Actually, no, let's make it 100 degrees. I think that's fine. And then we're going to add a chamfer at 45 degrees and place it like that. And then I'm going to take it to the right like this. So this is what we have. So I think we can actually, let's just increase this. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to increase this and make it 200. And then I'm going to add a chamfer at 35 at 45 degrees. And then I'm going to place it like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to select these lines and say mirror pick axis, pick this middle reference plane, and then it's going to be copied to the other side. So I'm just going to remove this line so that I can make it a single line at the bottom, and also this line, and then so that I can make it a single line at the top. So this is what we have. So obviously I'm going to add a material. So we're going to make it precast concrete and say finish edit mode, go to the reference level or floor plan, and then you're going to place it against this reference plane, lock it, place it against this reference plane, and also lock it. Perfect. Now the next thing is, so let's just increase this length, and then I think we can make it 8.5. So I'm gonna say 8.5 and then increase it like that. And then yeah, this is what we have. So now in order for us to make it skew, we're gonna have to add voids. So in order for us to add our voids, we're gonna have to establish an angle. So let's see how we can do that. So we're gonna go to create and say void extrusion, and then from this point we're gonna make sure that it covers the entire solid in terms of our angle. So I'm gonna place a triangle, a right angle triangle like this. So and then let's see. So the length of this line, I think I will make it 700, and then I'm gonna place a diagonal line like this. So this is what we have. So we're gonna see finish edit mode, go to the 3D view, and then I'm going to select my extrusion, and then I'm going to I'm going to attach it towards the bottom of our solid, and then attach it towards the top of our solid. Now it's going to cut our precast beam like this. Perfect. Now the next thing is you're going to select our extrusion. So we're going to make sure this line is going to be locked against the solid of our beam. So we're going to lock it so that when we move it, the extrusion is going to move along with our solid, and then we're going to make sure it's locked. So if I go to finish edit mode, let's see, constraint in cycle highlighted causes a chain of, okay, we're going to resolve it. So we're going to say AL for align, and then we're going to align it against these two. We're going to align the void extrusion against the solid, and then also we're gonna select this extrusion, and then I'm just gonna move it and then move it back like this so that I can lock it against this reference plane, so that when I move the entire beam, the extrusion also moves along with the beam, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing this side. So let's see what is our angle on this part. So it's 20.08. Okay, I think that's fine. So I'm gonna go to create and save void extrusion, and then the length I'm gonna make it 700 like we did on that side, and then I'm gonna attach it like this to establish our triangle. Finish edit mode, go to the 3D view, and then I'm gonna attach it towards the bottom of our precast beam, and then attach it towards the top, and then it's gonna cut. And now I'm gonna say AL for align, and then I'm gonna align it, make sure that everything is aligned, and then I'm gonna select my extrusion, and then I'm gonna move it like this, and then so that I can lock it against our reference plane. So to test this, I'm gonna open up a new project. So after opening up a new project, I'm gonna go to my precast beam and say load into project. So I'm gonna test it, and then I'm gonna place it like this. Go to the 3D view, and this is how it looks. So if you move it, so it's gonna move like this. Perfect. And now I think that's, yeah, this is what we have. Now the next thing is I'm gonna remove this. So I'm gonna go back to my I'm actually gonna save this. You can get this family on my Patreon. Please subscribe to my Patreon as a free member. So I'm gonna save this and then load it into my Patreon. So the first thing is I'm gonna load into project and close it. So I'm gonna go to the VDC space, then precast deck and girders. So the VDC space, and then girders, and then I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna load it into our project. Now it's loaded. Now it's time to model our deck. So I'm gonna go to new and then family, and then we're gonna use the same thing, metric structural framing, beams and braces, and say open. And now I'm gonna remove this extrusion, and then I'm gonna remove these extra reference planes and lines, and then let me just extend this length. So I'm gonna make it 9,000 millimeters, and then I'm just gonna drag this and also this reference plane beyond, and then lock it again. Go to the left elevation, and then I'm gonna establish I'm gonna draw my profile. So I'm gonna go to create and say extrusion, set my reference to reference plane left, and say okay, and then I'm gonna start from this insertion point. So I'm gonna take it to the right by 6,000 millimeters. I'm gonna add a chamfer of 40, and then I'm gonna take it down by 300, and then I'm gonna take it further down by diagonally at 45 degrees by 700, and then I'm gonna take it to the left and place it like this. So I'm gonna select this and say mirror pick axis, and then it's gonna be mirrored to the other side. I'm gonna remove these two, and then I'm gonna connect them like this on this side. Let's see. Okay, let's trim and extend, and this side I think it's all right. So I'm going to add material. I'm going to make it precast. So I'm going to say finish edit mode, go to the reference level, and then I'm going to attach it towards this reference plane, lock it, attach it towards this reference plane, and lock it. Let me just move this, and then we're going to add our void. So we're going to go to create. It's the same logic we applied when it comes to our girders. So we're going to say void extrusion, start from this insertion point, and then I'm going to place it like this, and just place it like this, and then I'm gonna take it to the left by 700 millimeters, and then I'm gonna join it like this, and then say finish edit mode, go to the 3D view, go to the 3D view of the family, and then I'm gonna attach it towards the bottom of our deck, and then attach it towards the top, towards the top, and then it's gonna cut our solid like this. Perfect. Go to the reference level, and then you're gonna drag this extrusion and back and then forth like this, so that you can lock it against the reference plane, and then press AL for align, and then you're gonna align your extrusion against the solid so that they can move along with each other. So you're gonna go to create again and say void extrusion, and then you're gonna place it like this at 700 millimeters, and then take it diagonally towards this point, and then you're gonna take it also towards this point, say finish edit mode, go to the 3D view, and then you're gonna take it down, attach it towards the bottom, attach it towards the top, and then it's gonna cut like this. Go to the reference level, and then you're gonna attach it towards this reference plane, lock it, and then press AL and then lock it against the solid, and this is what we have. Now we're gonna say load into project so that we can test it. So I'm gonna place it like this, open up the 3D view, and this is how it looks. So you can select it, and then when you extend it, and as you can see, the void moves along with the solid, and the skew angle it's also maintained, is consistent, and as you can see, you can move it also this side, and this is what we have. So I'm going to select it and remove it. So I'm going to go back to my family, load into project and close. I'm going to save this, and then say the VDC space, and I'm gonna say deck, and then I'm gonna save it. Now it's time to establish our Dynamo script so that we can place them in relation to each other. So you're gonna go to manage, and then you're gonna open up Dynamo. So it's gonna take a while to open. Please like, subscribe, and share, and make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. So I'm going to extend this and say new, and as you can see, this is the Dynamo interface. Now I'm going to set this to manual instead of automatic. So actually, let's just set it to automatic. And so the first thing is we're going to establish, I'm going to right click and then type in number, and then I'm going to place my number node there, and then I'm going to select it, press Control, and then I'm going to copy it like this, and then copy another one like this, and then copy the fourth one like let's see, copy the fourth one like this, and then I'm just gonna move them like that. Now the next thing is I'm gonna right click to establish my point. To establish my point at the origin, I'm gonna right click and say type in point. So I'm gonna go to by coordinates, and then as you can see, a point is established at the origin there at our base point. So I'm gonna place it like that. Now the next thing is I'm gonna attach this number to our x-axis, and I'm gonna go to let's see. I'm gonna select this point by coordinate and press Control on my keyboard, and then I'm gonna left click on my mouse so that I can copy it, and then I'm gonna drag it like this, and then this I'm just gonna remove this connection, and then I'm gonna connect I'm gonna connect at this point, and then I'm gonna enter a number. So I'm gonna make this number. So this is basically, I'm creating a span. So for our second point, the span, I'm gonna make it 9,000 millimeters. So it's gonna be placed like that. Let me just see how it looks. So this is our 9,000 millimeter span. This is how it looks. So I'm going to place it like that. Let's go back to our script. So the next thing is, I think we have no need for these. So I'm just gonna select this and then remove, select this and remove. Now this is what we have. We have our 2 points. Now we're gonna have to join these 2 points with a line. So I'm gonna right click and type in line, and then I'm gonna choose by start point end point, and then I'm gonna place it like this, and then I'm gonna select this and then connect it to our start point, and then select this and connect it to our end point. Now we created our line. If I minimize this and then go to the 3D view, as you can see, we created our line. Let me just say maximize 3D extend, and as you can see, this is what we have. So I'm gonna go back to my Dynamo, and I think we're gonna use this as our deck, and then I'm gonna have to establish the lengths for our girders. So the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of these, control, and then left click on your mouse and then drag it towards the bottom so that you can copy it. And then I'm just gonna move this. So I'm gonna set my number to 9,000 millimeters, and then set my second one to let's make it, let's see, so it's gonna be let's make it 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm gonna make it a 5,000. Let's make it 14,000, and then there's our another point. Actually, let's make it 18,000. So I'm gonna place it like that, and then I'm gonna connect this point to this point, and then this point to this point, and then I'm gonna copy these ones and then set it towards copy these ones and then set it towards the bottom, and then I'm gonna set this one to 18, and then so I'm gonna set this one to 27,000, and this is what we have. So I'm gonna select these ones first, right click and say create group, and then I'm gonna double click there. I'm gonna name it span dash 01, and then I'm gonna select these ones, right click, create group, and say, and then double click there, and then span dash 02, and then I'm gonna select these ones, right click, create group, double click there, and then span dash 03. Perfect. Now as you can see, we established our spans. Now it's time to add families towards these that we have created. So I'm gonna right click and then first press, I'm gonna start, remember we use structural framing template to generate our families. So I'm gonna type in structural framing types, and then I'm gonna place it like that. And then I'm gonna right click again, and then press level, and then I'm gonna select this one and then place it like that. And then under my library, I'm gonna scroll down, and then I'm gonna go to Revit, and then I'm gonna go to element, and then I'm gonna scroll down until I find structural framing, and then this is what we have. And then I'm gonna add this one, beam by curve, and then I'm gonna place it like that. And as you can see, this node requires the curve which we are going to connect from this node, and then it also requires a level. It also requires your family of made up of structural framing type. So I'm gonna establish first our level. So I'm gonna make it level 1, and then as you can see, we already have our line, and then we're gonna add our family. So I'm gonna start with our deck. Remember, this is for span 1, so it's gonna be applied on this span. So we're gonna connect everything now. So I'm gonna connect my family to structural framing type, my level to the level, and then my line to my curve. Now if I scroll down and then go to the 3D view, and this is how it looks. It's sort of like you've created an alignment. It follows the same logic as sophistic bridge modeler. So you can actually generate your own alignment. So this is how it looks. Now I'm gonna go back to Dynamo, and then I'm gonna select these three, control left click on your mouse, and then I'm gonna drag it downwards to copy it, and then I'm just gonna remove this, and then this time I'm gonna connect this one to this one, this line, and then our level to level. But this time we're gonna change our family, so we're gonna make it girder. Remember, it's for span 2, and then we're gonna add our line like this. And then if I scroll down, as you can see, it's gonna add our family like this. But obviously I think the angle is still a problem when it comes to this, so make sure that the angle you apply is consistent. So yeah, you're gonna have to modify that. So I'm gonna go back to Dynamo, and then select these, copy it down like this, and then I'm just gonna remove them like this, connect the line to our curve, level to our level, and then this time I'm gonna make it a deck again, and then I'm gonna connect it to our structural framing type. Scroll down, go to the 3D view, and this is how it looks. So I think the best thing we can do is, if I go to edit family for my deck, go to the left elevation, and then say insert load family, and then I'm gonna go to my the VDC space. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna load in my bridge deck to use as my reference. So go to and say component, and then I'm gonna place it like this. As you can see, let me just remove this. Go to component. As you can see, the angle is not consistent. So I'm gonna edit these extrusions, and what can we do right there? So I think the best thing we can do is we're gonna have to unlock these. So I'm gonna unlock these extrusions. Let me just remove these void extrusions. So I'm gonna extend these, remove constraint, and then extend this solid, remove constraint, and let me just make sure it's consistent on both sides. So I'm gonna make it equal. Now the next thing is I'm gonna go to, let me just remove this. I'm gonna go to create void extrusion, and then I'm gonna place it using this bridge getter as my reference. So I'm gonna place it like that, and then extend it, and then I'm gonna place it like that. So just make sure it cuts the outside of this solid. What I mean when I say outside, I'm saying outside of the reference planes. So I'm gonna attach it like this. So I'm gonna say trim and extend, and it's gonna be set like that. Let's go to finish edit mode, and so I'm gonna select this reference plane. Let's just place it right there and see what happens. I'm gonna select this void extrusion, and then I'm gonna drag it towards this point, then this reference plane towards this point. Actually, let's say undo. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'm gonna select this void extrusion, select it, and then I'm gonna copy it, and then go to the 3D view, and then I'm gonna touch the bottom, and then it's gonna cut our geometry like that. Go to the reference level, and then establish my void extrusion this side. So let me say pick lines also this side, pick lines, and then I'm gonna attach it, trim and extend, finish edit mode, and then I'm gonna lock it like this. Go to the 3D view, and then I'm gonna select it, and then I'm gonna drag it down, drag it towards the top of our bridge deck, and then it's going to be set like this. Let me select this extrusion, make sure it's set on top of our deck, and I think that's perfect. Now I'm going to remove my girder that I used as my reference. Let me just go to load into project, save, and then I'm going to replace it and override the existing version. Now it conforms to the skew of our, let me just go to level 1. Let me just select the top. As you can see, the skew conforms to the one that we have for our girders. So now it's consistent. And as you can see, another thing is you can also modify your script so that you can have maybe like a 20 millimeter for expansion joint between your girders and also your decks. So if I go to the 3D view, this is what we have. Now I want to copy these girders, so let me just go back to my script and see what we can do when it comes to that. So the next thing is I can actually copy these. Let me just copy this span 2. So I'm gonna copy span 2, and then but this time I'm gonna set it to let's see how we can do that. Actually, let me just remove this. I'm gonna right click, add a number, and then I'm gonna set this number to let's just say 1000 millimeters, and then I'm gonna attach it towards Y, and let's see what it does. And then I'm gonna attach it towards Y and also this side. No, that actually it's not gonna happen. So I think in order for us to copy it, either you can do it manually if you like. You can go back to Revit. Let me just say undo. Can go back you can go back to Revit. You can actually copy them manually if you like. You can actually, and then also align them against each other so that you have that consistency. So I'm just gonna say mirror, and then no, not mirror. So I'm gonna copy it like from this point, and also from this point, as you can see, and then you can actually align them, and then you can select these two, mirror them towards the other side, and then actually no, you can actually, let's just copy them, so you can actually copy them towards the other side, and then you can manually adjust them. But in terms of accuracy, I think it's best to use the script, so they can be set like this. Let's just say, let me just say remove. So I'm gonna remove this, go back to my script, and let's see how we can copy them. I actually managed to achieve this. Now my mind is a bit blocked. So let's see what we have. So I'm gonna select this and then copy it, and then I'm gonna say number. Gonna place my number like right there, and then I'm gonna make this number 1. Let's do with 1, and then I'm gonna attach it towards the left, and then it's gonna be, as you can see, this is what we have. So I'm gonna copy it down. Let's say undo. I'm gonna right click and say number again, place another number, make it 1000 millimeters, and then I'm gonna attach it towards Y, and then as you can see, I have actually managed to place another one at 1000 millimeter offset. So let's increase that offset and make it maybe 2000, and then as you can see, they are no longer clashing, but the problem is it's clashing with the deck. But that's the logic behind creating maybe an offset between your bridge girders. So if I go back to the Dynamo script, this is actually how it looks on your Dynamo interface, but obviously they are clashing when it comes to. So yeah, this is what we have. So if I go back to Revit, and then I say aligned, let's see what happens if I align it. So if I align it, it creates a mess, so we have to adjust it with using a Dynamo script. So I'm gonna go back to Dynamo, and then I'm gonna add other offsets when it comes to other spans. So what's my line? I'm gonna make this 2000 millimeters, and then I'm gonna add it towards the Y, and then add another number node, make it 2000 millimeters, and then I'm gonna attach it to Y, and then also this side, this span, I'm gonna say number, make it 2000 millimeters, attach it to Y, and add another number node, make it 2000 millimeters, attach it to Y, and also this side, and let's see what we have. Okay, there's some mess that I've created on this one. Let's see what we have. Okay, it's that one, so let's see how we can fix that. So I'm gonna remove this, actually say undo. So now actually I'm gonna say undo. I'm gonna remove these. We actually have to duplicate these first so that we can copy them. And so we did span 2, and then let's see, there's something wrong with span number 3. Okay, now my Revit is freezing now. Okay, let's not close this down. Okay, there's something wrong at my third span, and in order for us to fix that, let's see what we have. Okay, that's our point. I think everything is fine. I don't know why there's something wrong there. Span 2, I think it's fine for the offset. Span 1, I think it's fine. Span 2, is fine. Let's see, cancel, say undo, go to the Dynamo script. So yeah, I managed to say undo. So this one is for span 2. Let me just select it and then place it this side. So I'm gonna say span 2 offset, and then I'm gonna select these ones, copy them towards the right, and then I'm gonna double click there and then say span 1 offset, and then I'm gonna add a number node. I'm gonna make it 2000 millimeters, attach it towards the Y, add another number node, attach it towards this Y, and then it's going to be set like that, and then I'm going to make it 2000 millimeters unjoined. And then when I scroll down and go to the 3D view, this is what we have. So we have to actually change the type. So I'm gonna have to I'm actually not gonna apply the nothing for the span 1, so I'm gonna remove these. I'm actually not gonna apply anything. So if I scroll down, this is how it looks. And go back to my Dynamo script and then copy D for span 3. Then I'm gonna place it like that. Add a number node. Then I'm gonna say 2000 millimeters. And then I'm gonna attach it to Y. Add another number node. And then I'm gonna make it 2000 also. Attach it to Y. Then I'm gonna remove these beams. And then let's see 2000 for span 3. I think span 3 is fine. And I don't know why it's attaching towards this point now. So I've added an offset, I've added everything, and let's see, that's our point, that's our point, that's our point. We've added our offset. Okay, this is offset 2. And let's see how it looks. I'm gonna say unjoined. Go back to my Dynamo script, and everything is well set. So yeah, this is actually how it looks. So you can actually modify this if you want to, and as you can see, this is how they are placed. And yeah, that's the logic behind it. Let me just end this tutorial right there. So this is how you can place your bridge girders and then your bridge decks using Dynamo script, and also how you can generate your skewed bridge decks and girders. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any more suggestions on how you can approach this, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's the logic behind it. You can actually find my script, a more refined script, on my Patreon, so I'll try to refine it, and also these families on my Patreon. So please subscribe to that, and thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next tutorial. Peace.